Sleep used to come easy. It used to be you could just crawl into bed, close your eyes, tuck into your pillow and your sheets, and then boom, you fall asleep, and you wake up the next day, ready to go, full of energy. However, now it seems that when you crawl into bed, you lie awake and you just can't seem to fall asleep. And, nothing changed. You're just older. And it just seems to be a phenomenon that happens when you're older. But, like I said, now that you're older, you just can't sleep and you cannot figure out the problem. I'm sure you feel the same way, where you're just restless in your bed and you can't sleep anymore. And you don't really know what the problem is. I go through this constantly. If you're like me and you've been dealing with this for a long time, you've probably done a lot of Googling and research to try to figure out what's the problem and why am I staying up so late and not able to sleep in my bed, just like sitting there, restless. You Googled it and you probably got some random search that just said something like, oh, you're on your screens too much, or, oh, you need to be more active in the day and eat better foods and don't eat junk food and, sodas and candy at night before you go to bed. But you're sitting there reading that like, hey, like, I'm not doing any of that. Or maybe you are. And if that's the case, then you probably need to cut those things out of your life so that way you can sleep better. But if you're like me and you're not doing any of that, you're like, man, what's the problem? Like, I cannot sleep. And it's really frustrating. For example, I, started my day yesterday, waking up. I didn't wear an Apple Watch or anything to track how much hours I got of sleep, but I'm assuming I got around like 8 hours, which is really good. Like 8.5 hours. So I got my hours, I went to the gym. After I got to the gym, I knocked out some work, edited some YouTube videos. Then I played basketball. I got some hoops in. I ate steaks. I ate burgers, steaks, and salads and fruits today. So I ate a bunch of healthy stuff. And mind you, this is yesterday. I go to bed and I'm comfy. Like after I got my shower, I'm all good. I'm all fresh. And I go to bed. But I just don't sleep. Like I'm in the bed. I'm tucked in. Like I'm all comfy, sitting there. And I'm just like, boom, not sleeping. So I'm like, all right. Like, I get up. Like I look around. I'm like, well, how cold is the room? Because, the temperature impacts on how you sleep. You want the room to be colder, which helps you sleep. So it's around 60 degrees, sorry, not 60. It's around like 69 degrees. And I'm like, okay, so it's clearly cold enough to where I'm comfortable, So I go back, fans on, that's not keeping me up. It's not a loud fan or anything. And so I like look at my clock. It's like around 11. And I'm like, all right, I should be in bed right now. Like I should be asleep. So I grab a book, I read it for a little while, and then eventually I just end up reading the Bible a little bit just so I can read some God's word. And I'm like, all right, now I'm good. I should be able to sleep and I'll be just fine. 30 minutes go by. Just not sleeping, man. And I'm sitting there like I'm tired, like I am physically tired. And you probably feel the exact same way. And you're just not sleeping. And you're like, come on, bro, like sleep. And then you just realize, like, am I thinking too hard about it? Am I overthinking it? Or is there a lot on my mind? It's not like I have anything crazy going on tomorrow. It's just another normal day. Man, it gets confusing, I'm curious to what some of y'all's sleeping methods are to help you sleep better. And don't put anything, like, inappropriate down there. That's, like, the last thing I want. But, like, some genuine, like, advice, if you know what I'm saying. Because I struggle with this a lot. And, it's one of those things where it's like, dude, you need your sleep in order to grow and become physically healthier and stronger. And, I always go to the gym, so, like, I want big muscles, so, I gotta sleep because for those who didn't know, when you sleep, that's when your body repairs itself. So when you go to the gym and lift weights, you're tearing your muscle apart. And then when you sleep, your muscles get built up. So, full fun fact for you. But yeah, restless nights, not fun. And then when you wake up, you're just drowsy. And then the whole process gets repeated again. The whole cycle. So, but like, I do a lot of physical stuff throughout the day. I run a lot in basketball, go to the gym, I lift weights. I'm always active. I always get my sunlight in, be outside and stuff like that. I mow lawns for little side hustle jobs, all the good stuff. And I'm a pretty active person, I would say so. And I love to surf and I do a lot of physical activities. It's just, man, like when it comes to time to go to bed, it's just like you just can't sleep and it's not fun. I will say I do tend to follow everything that I said in the beginning about not being on your screens, eating healthy and being active. But that's the thing about eating, though, is I do snack, like, just a little bit before bed. Like, I have my, my fruit bowl or whatever, maybe some popcorn if I want to make that, or I'll just have like a little something before bed. Just because I'm a snack type of guy when it comes to go like before you go to bed, you're just watching something on a show, eat a snack, and you just have some downtime. Like shut off the screens, just kind of sit there, read a book, and then maybe like get ready, brush your teeth, and all that good stuff, and get cleaned up. But I do snack like in the process. Like I'm snacking on like some fruit snacks, gummies, and then like maybe like carrots or something healthy. I will say there's a chance that I might have had like the poppy drinks. There's a chance I had one of those last night, so that could be a problem. But there's no caffeine in that. It's like a quote unquote healthy soda, which I really like the poppies. If y'all have had those, they're really good. I don't know. We'll see how I end up sleeping tonight. I'm gonna try to like I said, do all the things I listed. Take some downtime. Just kind of just try not to think too much about it, because I think that's a main issue, is overthinking that. That could definitely be one of the problems, is thinking too much or having a lot on my mind while I'm trying to sleep. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But for those who are listening and want to get better sleep yourself, I recommend eating healthy throughout the day, getting your steaks, your proteins, your fruits, and your vegetables all in there. Drinking enough water. I don't think I mentioned that prior. Drinking water, but not being on your screens before bed, certainly. And then getting enough exercise and physical activity throughout the day, which I know can be tough with work and school and your job maybe. But just make sure you're getting enough physical activity in, so that way your body can be a little tired from your work during the day. But yeah, that's my advice.